Hello students, in this video we will discuss the discrete Fourier transform, which is in short it is called the DFT. This is my lecture 2. Before going to the discrete Fourier transform, I must say something about the signal analysis. First you have to know what is signal analysis. Signal analysis means nothing but to extract information regarding the signal. Extract information regarding the signal means we have to know the frequency information of that signal. That means how many frequencies exist within that signal, that you have to know. That is called the information extraction from the signals basically. And that can be done using the Fourier transform. That is, using the Fourier transform, what we do the time domain signal converted into the frequency domain signal. Now the thing is that if your input signal is discrete, so which tool you have to use? That is, Fourier transform is one tool. Which tool is used for converting a continuous time domain signal into the frequency domain signal. Now if we have the discrete time signal, so we have the another tool which is called the DTFT, that means discrete time Fourier transform. Using this tool we can do the same thing, that means we can convert the signal, discrete time domain signal, into the frequency domain signal to extract the information. Now the thing is that if we have required to discretize the frequency domain signal also, that means in case of Fourier transform, what we get in the frequency domain, that is continuous. What we get in case of discrete time Fourier transform, that input is discrete but the output is continuous. But the thing is that if we have required the output also in discrete, so we have the requirement of the tool DFT, discrete Fourier transform. Now the question is, why we are coming to the discrete Fourier transform? We are coming to the discrete Fourier transform because in Fourier transform, I have again repeated it, in Fourier transform continuous time domain signal can be converted into the frequency domain. In frequency domain the signal is again continuous. And in DTFT, input is discrete but the output is continuous. That is, in frequency domain the spectrum is in continuous. But if we want the output also in discrete, because for the processing purpose in the digital way, so we have to require the DFT. So the thing is that Fourier transform, DTFT and DFT are doing the same thing, that is converting the time domain signal into the frequency domain signal. These are the three tools. But the question is that why we will choose the DFT, not DTFT. Why we are not using the FT, that is the Fourier transform? As because Fourier transform is doing the time domain signal into the frequency domain, DTFT also doing that same thing, and DFT also doing the same thing. But the disadvantage is that in case of Fourier transform, only continuous signal can be converted into the frequency domain. But if the time signal is discrete in nature in the time domain, so we have to take the help of DTFT. But the big question is that if we have that signal in time domain discrete, and if we want the output, that is in frequency domain signal also in discrete, so we have to take the help of DFT, because DTFT and Fourier transform both cannot discretize the frequency domain signal. So here it is, you can see the time domain signal in the first panel. You can see this one. Time domain signal is continuous, and after applying the Fourier transform tool, that in frequency domain the signal is also continuous, this one. Now in case of DTFT, in time domain signal is discrete as a sample wise. After applying the tool DTFT, we are getting the spectrum or the frequency domain representation which is also continuous as per the previous. But in DFT you can see input is discrete and output is also discrete, and this is very advantageous for any digital processing. So that's why DFT, we are now coming to the DFT tool. Now the thing is that how DFT can be achieved. The DFT of a discrete signal is obtained by sampling the DTFT. You can see in the previous figure, you can see by sampling the DTFT, that is after doing the DTFT on the discrete time signal, we are getting the continuous time signal. What we do here, that is just we are taking the sample in this way, we are taking the different samples, So in this way we are taking the different samples in a uniform interval. Here it is also written, that is you have to take n number of samples, and we have to take the n number of samples such a way that we can avoid the aliasing, that is there will not be any overlapping of the samples. And the samples of DTFT are represented as function of integer k, and it can be represented as the output of the DFT can be represented as a capital X of k, where k is 0, 1, 2 up to n minus 1. As xk is a sequence consisting of the complex number, the magnitude and phase of each sample can be computed and listed as a magnitude sequence and a phase sequence respectively, and the graphical plots of that magnitude and phase as a function of k also be drawn, and it can be plotted. The plot of magnitude versus k is called the magnitude spectrum, and the plot of phase versus k is called the phase spectrum. In general, these plots are called actually the frequency spectrum. So students, remember this type of plots is called the frequency spectrum, that is any drawing in frequency domain is called the frequency spectrum. Now we are coming to the development of the DFT from DTFT. That means how we can calculate DFT from DTFT. So in frequency domain representation of a discrete time signal, which is obtaining using the DTFT, will be continuous function of omega. That is, after converting into the frequency domain the digital time domain signal, we are getting the frequency domain signal which is continuous as a function of omega. Omega is your angular frequency here with a periodicity of 2 pi. In order to obtain discrete function in the frequency domain, the DTFT can be sampled in a sufficient number of frequency intervals. That means we have to take the samples within 0 to 2 pi, and that omega can be represented as omega suffix k, and where that 2 pi will be divided by n, capital N, that is the number of samples. So that will be omega k will be 2 pi k divided by n. What is k? K is the sample at the output, that is the DFT output for the different input samples. So capital N value will be the different input samples, and capital K are the different output samples based on that. And DFT is a sequence of the n samples and samples of the DFT, and let the samples is denoted by x of k, where k is 0, 1, 2, n minus 1. So therefore sampling of x of e to the power j omega, that is sampling of x of e to the power j omega, is actually the representation of DTFT, which can be represented as the summation of this one. Here it is written, let me take the pen. So this one, this is the formula for DTFT, where you can set x of e to the power j omega is summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n e to the power minus j omega n. And in case of DFT, that omega will be changed by this value, omega k value. What is omega k value? That is 2 pi k by n. That omega will be changed by this value. That omega will be changed by this value. So the DFT formula will be x of k, that x of e to the power j omega will be changed by k. So capital X of k will be summation n equal to 0 to infinity or 0 to n minus 1 x of n capital N minus 1. So n equal to 0 to capital N minus 1 x of n e to the power minus j 2 pi k by n into n. This will be your DFT formula. Now why it is n value is 0 to capital N minus 1? Because we have to take the samples within the period 0 to 2 pi. So that's why 0 to n minus 1, and maximum number of sample is capital N. So that's why 0 to n minus 1. Now this is your mathematical formula for DFT, where I have already stated that formula, that is x of k equal to n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n equal to minus j 2 pi k n by capital N. K value is 0, 1 to up to n minus 1. Since the situation is taken for n points, it is called the n point DFT. This type of DFT is called the n point DFT. That is, if we have the number of samples is 8, so it will be called 8 point DFT. If we have the number of samples in input 4, so it will be called the 4 point DFT. So here it is, DFT sequence starts from 0, k equal to 0, where corresponds to, that is the in frequency, it will corresponds to the omega equal to 0, and as it does not include k equal to n corresponding to omega equal to 2 pi, since the sample of omega equal to 0 is same as the sample at omega equal to 2 pi, so that's why we are not considering k equal to n. Generally, DFT is defined along the number of samples and is called the n point DFT. The number of samples n for infinite duration sequence x of n of length n should be such that n should be greater than equal to L. This should be the certain conditions. Now we are coming to the inverse DFT, that is, if x of k is given, so from x of k how we can calculate the x of n, this one. If x of k is given, that is x of k is this one. So that is the formula. So x of n can be calculated that in this way, 1 by n, that is k equal to 0 to n minus 1. In the DFT formula, that is, you can see in DFT formula, it is n equal to 0 to n minus 1, and your inverse DFT formula, it is your k equal to 0 to n minus 1 into x of k e to the power j 2 pi k n divided by capital N. In case of DFT, it is minus j 2 pi k n by capital N, and it is plus j 2 pi k n by capital N. So you have to remember that will be multiplied with the 1 by n. So this is the formula for calculating the inverse DFT. This is also called the n point IDFT. Now, if we consider that 2 pi e to the power minus 2 pi by n as a Wn, which is written in DFT formula, this is minus 2 pi, this one minus 2 pi by n. If we consider this as a Wn, so that is called actually the twiddle factor. This Wn is called actually the twiddle factor. So we can replace that formula of the DFT in this way: x of k equal to n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n Wn kn. Kn, why? Because it is kn, because we have already considered e to the power minus j 2 pi by n as a Wn, and you can see in the DFT formula another kn is also given, kn is also there. So we are only considering minus 2 pi by n as a capital Wn, so your minus j and kn is there. No, actually we are considering minus j 2 pi by n, so that's why kn is only there. So that will be x of k equal to summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n e to the power, not e to the power, it will be twiddle factor, that is Wn superscript kn, which is given here in the twiddle factor formula, this one. and this is